What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Guess what I just saw? Guess what? Spider-Man!
What are you hiding, Peter?
Yeah, Spider-Man!
I'm just kidding, I don't care. Bye.
Oh, this movie. So Spider-Man Homecoming is directed by Jon Watts, stars Tom Holland, and a great supporting cast. In this review, I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, and then I'm going to give you my score. If you guys want to stick around to my channel later on in the week, I will have my top 5 spoiler-filled moments from this movie because there's a lot to talk about. But right now, we're going to keep it spoiler-free. Oh, so much to love about this movie! I want to be honest, I went in a little bit hesitant because I'd seen all the promotional material. You see a lot of Iron Man, not as much Spider-Man as you want. It gives away, you think, it gives away a lot in the trailers. No. There are things in this movie that you don't expect. There are twists, there are turns. It is not an Iron Man movie, it is a Spider-Man movie, and that was my biggest worry going in, and man, is Spider-Man just awesome. There are so many small moments with you and Peter Parker just to get to know him, even in the middle of the biggest battles in the movie. You just get these little moments between you, the camera, the audience, and Peter that are just absolutely fantastic. The jokes were great. The supporting cast landed for the most part for me. I loved Ned. Ned is an awesome new character, and I thought the love interest did a good job as well. I love the guy who played Flash Thompson. He was good, and all of the teachers and the supporting school staff, they all did a great job. Oh, and the Captain America cameo, you see part of it in the trailers, but you have no idea. It's just so funny. It had a real Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, John Hughes, what they were talking about before they made the movie. It had a John Hughes feel to it, and I thought it really worked. There is even a callback to some former John Hughes material, which I thought was great in the movie. It's probably going to be in my moments. Tom Holland. Let's talk about Tom Holland. Tom Holland is Peter Parker. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. He is officially my favorite on-screen Spider-Man. Now, I don't know if this is my favorite Spider-Man movie. I have a lot of thinking to do, and my list of top 5 favorite Spider-Man films will be coming out next week as well, but I don't know yet. We just have to sit and wait. But I can pretty easily say that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man and the best Peter Parker that we've had, and the internal conflict and struggle in this movie is so good. Now, one thing I love about this movie is that it's different from the other Spider-Man films, of course, because it's part of the Marvel Universe now, but this movie does not revolve around a girl. All of the other Spider-Man movies, from Peter Parker and Mary Jane to Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, they revolved around the girl, and Peter did what he did, and all of these side quests and side stories to the movie revolved around the female character. In this movie, she plays a role, and a pretty vital role at that, but the story does not revolve around that conflict. Peter's struggling within himself because he wants to be Spider-Man. He doesn't want to be Peter Parker, but he has to handle that fact, and he has to deal with Tony Stark keeping some things away from him and not allowing him to be who he wants to be, which is an Avenger, and that's made pretty obvious, so that's not a spoiler. That's the conflict of this movie. That's the real meat of the story of Spider-Man Homecoming, and I really appreciate that, and it was so refreshing, as well as not getting an origin story once again. Guys, I know there's things I'm missing. I just saw the movie, but I will have my top 5 moments, and I will go way more into detail in that video. But now, we have to talk about the things I didn't like. There's not that much. I hate to say it, I think the worst part of this movie was the filmmaking, and this filmmaking was not bad at all, and Jon Watts did a wonderful job directing. Some of the shots were a little cliche, things that we've seen before in superhero movies. There's a couple of moments where you get an over-the-shoulder shot, and the mouth doesn't really match up to the words. I noticed that 2 or 3 times, and it really, most of the audience ain't gonna notice it. I noticed it. It bothers me. There are a few moments at the end when Peter is dealing with this conflict, and he's dealing with these struggles, and it can get a little cheesy at times. It's that whole, oh, look in the mirror and I see myself and I have to see who I become. When you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's a little bit cheesy for me. And there's a few voiceovers that come into play. It's like, all right, we didn't need that. We know what's going on and we know Peter's motivation. I mean, other than a couple of lines that fell flat, I know a lot of people are going to have problems with the callbacks and the Easter eggs and even the references to other Spider-Man films, not just the MCU. I didn't have a problem with those. I thought those were actually really cool and they added something to the movie. So guys, I'm going to shut up. This summer has been such a mixed bag. I've been disappointed with a lot of movies, but lately, man, Wonder Woman, Baby Driver, and now Spider-Man Homecoming We're starting to get into the meat of things, and July is just going to keep getting better. I'm so happy with Spider-Man Homecoming, and I'm going to give it a 90% out of 100. This is one of my favorite movies of the year, easily in my top 5, and I can't wait to count down my favorite Spider-Man films and give you guys my top 5 favorite Easter eggs. So what did you guys think about Spider-Man Homecoming? I know I missed a lot, but this is like my immediate reaction. I didn't even write anything down because I'm just so excited to talk about this movie. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let me know if you like the little background thing. I'm trying something different before I get a green screen in the very near future. I'm growing, mother. Oh, before I go, here's my brother's thoughts.
You know what? I thought the movie was pretty good. And it was funny.
You guys are the absolute best, and I'll catch you later.